Anybody ever done that? Consulting with the mind? Anybody? Give me an example.
An example would be, oh, don't eat this, eat that, or eat both. You know, you're just consulting with the mind. Yeah, it's just something simple.
With food, absolutely.
Yeah, with food. Yeah.
It'll tell you, oh, this food, don't eat this fat food, eat this healthy food that you buy over at Kmart, you pay $200 for. And then you eat the healthy food, but the plate is so big, you still get fat. Because you overate. The problem is that you have the wrong relationship with food. Change your relationship with the food, you can eat what you want. Moderation. But you're not living a life of moderation because you're consulting with the devil. Amazing, huh?
Amazing, yeah. I have a quick question. What did you mean by desperate? You said desperate when you're sad, desperate when you're angry. That word desperate, I'm not very familiar with it. To me, desperate means like desperate for an answer, or desperate, like what do you mean by desperate?
When a person is lonely, they're desperate, meaning that they want to hurry up and fulfill that lonely space because they don't want to deal with being lonely. And so they are desperate to get that done. And so they'll call up anybody, they'll eat, they'll sleep, they'll do anything to feel better because they're desperate. A revengeful person is a desperate person. They would do whatever they can to destroy you. They would build an army against you. They would make up stuff on you. They would do anything so that they can feel better about being revengeful, and then they'll blame somebody. I'm not a revengeful person. That was love. You know, but a desperate person would take your children away from you and make them suffer for their father. And they feel good. They feel better by making the kids suffer and making the father suffer because they're desperate. They're looking for a solution to try to feel better. Okay. Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Amazing. Makes sense. Thank you.
A desperate woman would, if a man want to leave, she would break out his car windows. You ain't going nowhere, and you gonna love me. She'll break the windows out. She'll call his job and lie to the boss about him. She would, whatever it takes. Anybody ever done that, ladies? Rochelle. You raise your hand? No. Oh, your hand went up. Anybody else? Yes.
Well, I'm not saying I've done it, but there's literally a meme that's been circulating last couple of weeks where a lady gets really mad at the boyfriend and smashes all his windows, and then it turns out she just imagined the thing he did.
Yeah.
And then she starts apologizing, like, stay with me. And they're looking at this fancy car with no windows.
Black people, not all, black people blame white people all the time. Since slavery, 150 years ago, they weren't even in slavery. Let's think about that. They're blaming white people for something that happened 150 years ago. And they say, well, I'm like, well, slavery, you don't know anything about slavery. Well, I would have money if they had not, but your folk were poor, they didn't have any money. That's desperation. Somebody can blame somebody else for something that happened 150 years ago, and they really don't know the real story about what happened. It was like the young lady was saying about the media. You can't believe in me. That ear could have been fake. I don't think it was, but.
Getting high off of speaking about this event that happened.
Absolutely.
Like people are loving talking about it. They're loving getting that elated feeling of having an opinion on what happened.
Yeah.
Thinking that they're right, thinking that what they think that they saw was right.
Are you a desperate person?
Not anymore. I used to be. I used to be
Can you
a
give me an
terribly
example
angry person.
of a desperate, the way you were at one time?
I mean, yeah, the example of, going through a breakup and, them making the choice not to be with me and me like begging for them to stay as if like that's real love, like it's not.
That's
can't
desperation.
Force. Yeah, absolutely. And it's not love if you have to force it.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
Angry people are desperate people. And they go, when in relationship, they go from one person to another person to another person. They call it love, they call it loneliness, they give it a title, but it's desperation. It's desperation. You don't have no business at all looking for anyone. You're not supposed to be trying to figure, guys, you're not supposed to be figuring out how a woman is so you could get with her. That's dumb. You're never going to learn about how you are to overcome that spirit. You're going to learn about all human beings. All human beings. Because it's the same spirit. If you're of love, you're going to understand those that you run into that have love. You're going to see it in them. If you're of evil, you're going to see it in others. You're going to see it. If you have love, you're protected from evil, you're not. That makes sense? Have you ever been a desperate person?
A long time ago, yeah.
And give me an example of your desperation. When somebody say, I can't sleep, right? Because I'm so lonely, I stayed up all night. Or whatever. That's a desperate person. Because there shouldn't be one thing that happens that causes you not to be able to sleep at night. It's something wrong with you. You have anger and you're a desperate person. When Francisco mentioned that he couldn't sleep when he heard about Trump, I went to sleep, I slept like a virgin. That didn't...
I'm not a virgin.
Sorry about that. Most people don't even know what a virgin is anymore, so you don't know if it's good or bad. But I had no problem sleeping. I went right to sleep. Did my little silent prayer. Next thing I knew, it was morning. I went by, it didn't get to me, it was Trump's ear, not my ear. Amazing. Yes. That makes sense? Angry people are desperate people. They're dangerous. When God said you can't trust them, don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. You cannot trust an angry person. Yes, sir. Give me an example of your desperation at a long time ago. Like last week.
No. So I grew up in foster care. So I was desperate for, I guess, like parental guidance. Or like that kind of love you would get from a mother and a father. Yeah.
Amazing. Are you over that now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Long over it.
I'm sorry?
Long over it.
Nice. Just know all these emotions that you're having, you are a desperate person and you're a dangerous person. If you don't see what's going on, and as that young lady was saying, go through it. And you can when you overcome that, you overcome desperation. You really will. So let yourself be lonely. It's not you. Let yourself be afraid. It's not you. Let yourself be whatever. Nobody likes you. It's not you. All right? Really. If you want somebody to like you, you're desperate. Why do you need anyone to like you? Why? It doesn't even make sense. But a lot of people love to be liked. They love to be loved.